Good morning, good day, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new live stream of DrTorment and guests. As you may have realized, I have two guests here today with me. One is eager to start announcing himself right away, and the other has also been a guest on a previous stream already. So, without further ado, please welcome Erik Fones.
Hey there, thanks for having me.
No problem, Erik. So do tell, how have you been doing? Because we have talked in the past before, and we've also worked together before in one or two stories.
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, but I understand life happens, and I've been stepping away from Discord a little bit more than I'd like to, but I'm getting back into it, and everything's going well.
Alright, so Cryptic says your voice is kinda low. I'll see if I can up the juice on my end first.
Okay.
How's Cryptic? If you hear Erik speak again, do tell me if this is better or not. So Erik, where were we?
Is it better now?
Answer chat.
Yeah, we were just yeah. Well, I mean, they can let us know, I guess. Yeah, life's just been work and parenting and all sorts of fun stuff.
Fun stuff, parenting. You have that's I keep forgetting that you are a father.
Yes, I have one child. He's 8 years old. He'll be 9 this year.
He's gonna be, oh my god, this year already.
Yeah,
It
it's crazy.
must have gone fast so quickly.
Oh, you have no idea, man. It's like just yesterday he was this little baby, and today he's next month he's gonna be 9 years old, and he can actually have like a conversation.
Oh god, he's gonna be a little adult.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he's 9 going on 15. He's too smart for my own good.
Too smart, really.
Yeah,
Already.
he's very intelligent. He's already wanting to get into YouTube streaming and stuff. So
no way.
these...
No way. At almost 9 years old, really?
Yep. He keeps seeing the streamers playing their games and stuff, and he's like, "That's what I want to do when I get older." And I'm just like, "Well, just work on it, and you can do it." Yeah.
Anybody can become a president.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what they say, right? But yeah, as I've seen so far in the past few years, that's saying that's gotten a little bit too seriously. That shouldn't be too seriously.
Yeah, but I don't want to get into politics. But
oh
yeah,
no, me neither. I just love joking around about that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, I'm not really a fan of it as well. But I did want to talk to you about you being a voice actor, because you've been active for a little while now, haven't you?
A couple of years. Yeah. It it started with me during the pandemic.
You too.
I was just trying to find. Oh yeah. I was just trying to find an artistic outlet for me, and I like to draw. I'm not very good at it, but I like to, and I like to collect little action figures and stuff. But really, my passion's been acting for a very long time, and back in 2007, I was actually in a movie called Carver, where I
Wait,
played the
what?
killer. Yeah.
No way,
Oh, you didn't
really?
know that?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't know. This is the first time I hear. I've known you for like a year, maybe almost 2 years. This is the first I ever heard of it.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Nice.
actually, a mutual friend of ours, TJ, we did a live watch along at one point where we
Really?
were both reacting to the movie and talking about it.
I'm gonna talk to TJ about this.
Yeah, it's on
Yes.
his Hotter show.
I'm gonna have a talk with him about this. How dare he?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
TJ and I have had some very good conversations, and yeah, we actually sat here and watched Carver, and he'd never seen it before, so he was having like real time reactions to it, and I was just kind of going along, giving him some background information and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
I can imagine. Like, I'm not really familiar with the movie myself, and I'm definitely going to look it up now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate any kind of look into it you would give me, and let me know what you think.
I mean, I am kind of planning to do this Wednesday, perchance. I'm kind of planning to do an event on Discord, like watching movies and shows. I might put that on my list later on, though.
There you go.
Just watching.
The only place I've found it available recently is on YouTube. So
There's a YouTube movie, or
no. Well, actually, it got a pretty good release. It wasn't theatrical or anything, but we were out. We were on HBO for a little bit. We were
Really?
on Netflix before they started to really suck. Yeah.
I
So.
mean, I knew I was inviting talent over today. I didn't know you were like a streaming superstar.
Oh no. I'm a superstar to nobody but my kid, I think.
Not
But
yet.
no, not yet, not yet. I'm getting there. But yeah, so I've always loved acting, and to give you a kind of background on that, I never did the theater in school or anything. It was just something that I kind of kept in the back of my mind. And in 2006, I started working in this company that was like a mortgage company, and the guy there was filming a movie, and one of the guys that he hired dropped out,
No.
and his first movie, I had a very small role. His first movie is called Big, and I just played a groundskeeper that kind of looks creepily at people, and then
Ah,
I just
yes,
so happened.
the
Yeah,
perfect
I mean
role.
that's you know me well enough by now to know that's my forte. Is just looking creepily at people. So um where was I? Oh yeah. So while we were doing that, I was like, dude, like my dream has always been to be in a horror movie, to be a killer. And he went and wrote the script for Carver, and he kept me in mind while writing the part. So
Oh
that
damn.
was that. It was a lot of fun. It was best experience, one of the best experiences of my life. It was hard. It was very hard. It was very tough.
I
But
mean, yeah, first time
um,
acting. Can only imagine it was. You had to really get into it, I suppose.
yeah, I went to some really dark places.
Oh.
Um, it was fun in the sense that I could be somebody that I'm definitely not. I'm not some redneck serial killer. Just a redneck. And um and it's one of those things where you have to be in the mindset. You have to be in the moment with that kind of stuff, and it's crazy the thoughts you have to access while you're doing that.
Again, I can only imagine it. Like, with narrations, it's easy enough, you know. If you're
Yes.
doing narrations,
Hmm.
like it's easy. You can get into the mood and into the character as you read along. You get into those emotions. At least I do. Um, but I can act. But actual acting, like on camera, that's a whole different art. I think I would not have mastered. Maybe like a mob boss because of my Italian roots. Maybe I
Yeah.
could
Well,
pull that off, but not sure.
yeah, and it's definitely it's its own monster, honestly. Um, but I much prefer voice acting, to be honest with you, because I think it lets me explore a little bit more. Like
Right.
camera acting is fun. Camera acting is fun, and it's challenging.
It's more social too,
But
right?
oh yeah, I met some pretty cool people. And the other thing is, like, I kind of had um some experience just using my facial expressions and my voice to convey my role, because I was in a mask most of the time.
Oh.
And So yeah, the mask that we had, it was plastic, and it was supposed to look like a camera because the whole premise of the movie is this redneck killer and his brother are filming people being killed out in the woods, and this group of teens comes up, and they're encroaching on the territory and such, and the mask had like this little apparatus in the front of it that was kind of supposed to look like a camera. It was actually pretty neat, and
Oh.
unfortunately, I don't have it because they promised it to me, but they never got it to me. So I'm not gonna
Ah.
I'm I'm not gonna hold their feet to the fire on that. But still, it would have been nice to have.
It actually would have been. That would have been actually nice.
Yeah.
I would have almost paid to see a picture of you in that.
I
Almost.
will send you one later.
Ooh. Excellent.
I've got a couple. Um,
Just don't start
but yeah.
Just don't start an OnlyFans for it, will you?
Oh,
No.
that was my next step, man. Don't give it away.
Ah. Yeah, I gave away your business strategy. Oh, that was not supposed to
Yeah,
happen. I'm
no,
just
I told you that in confidence, and
yeah. You told me this in confidence on the live stream. How
yeah.
dare I put it out in public? How dare I?
I just thought it was
Monster.
implied confidence. Jeez, no.
Yeah, in public.
Right, with everybody watching.
Uh,
Um,
Speaking of everybody watching, I'm just gonna have a quick look in the live chat because some people have jumped in. I do want to say hello to. First off, the first people that came in, Cindy and Marty, hello, welcome to the live stream. Cryptic Tales, please keep your sass at home and we will tolerate you today. And Jinxie also jumped in a few minutes ago. She is here, but she's also not listening at the same time. Ooh,
she
but
doesn't
okay.
listen anyway.
Oh no, she's out for the kid. Cindy is also doing her dishes while listening. Cindy, did you enjoy your meal, by the way? Because she was having, let me scroll back up because it did sound rather fun. Of course, my pinned message is in the way. Potato salad and coleslaw. You know, it's sometimes the simple things that just can fulfill a life like that.
Oh yeah.
For me, like sometimes I'm just alright with porridge. It sounds strange, but I really am. Like there's some days like that I'm like I'm not gonna cook that much. Let me just put in some porridge and that's the day. I'm done.
There you go. I mean, it's easy. It's filling.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's for tomorrow, Cindy meant. So there will be hot dogs with potato salad and coleslaw for her sister's birthday. So again, Cindy. So again, Cindy, do say happy birthday to your sister from me, from everyone here.
Same, yeah.
And Cryptic Tales, keep your what now? Well, your sass. Your sass, Cryptic Tales. The sass you always have during my live streams. I can actually put this under the category of sass. Keep my what now? You're just goading me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So typical.
Looks like Cryptic wants me to start my own channel.
Yes, that too. I was just about to touch that. So Cryptic demands that you make your own channel, which also raises an interesting point. Why haven't you? Because clearly you have talent. I've heard stories where you were featured in. I made stories where you were featured in. So yeah, kinda. I'm siding with Cryptic for once. I'm for once siding with Cryptic here. This weird. You're making me side with Cryptic. You're making me side with Cryptic. Yeah, kinda.
It's something I've never really thought about, but the more I see like you and our other friend Bray, I know you guys get on YouTube and do a lot of narrations, so it could be coming in the future. I'm not 100% sure, but it could be something down the line.
Well, you could always start a podcast too.
I could. I feel like the market's a little oversaturated with horror narration right now.
That.
But I mean,
I do get where you're coming from, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's not that I'm saying that I don't want to, because I've always wanted to do a podcast. But I'm more or less just starting out. It's only been like 2 years. I mean, I have the acting experience, but the voice acting, it's just so it's different in a very good way. Um, but it's just one of those things that right now I'm looking to just work with other people and then maybe do my own thing.
Oh, I
But yeah,
mean,
it's
I mean, in the end of the day, you could always say if you start a podcast or a channel, doesn't really matter which. But at the end of the day, you could always say like it's part of your resume.
mm-hmm, true.
At least
That's true.
that's something someone said to me. I failed to recall who this someone was, however, but yeah, pretty sure someone told me this. So if you want to go into voice acting, it's important that you kind of have a kind of a repertoire for your resume. So you can just add a link to your channel. Oh, this is the stuff I do. Do you like it? Do you like the tone of this? Yada yada yada. Of course, I'm
Right.
not a
Yeah. There was
professional.
a. Well, of course not. But
Okay,
um.
thank you. No need to
No,
be
no,
nasty now.
Well, it wasn't trying to be nasty. So, sorry if I came across that way. I apologize.
No, it's fine. You're just
Um.
on my live stream. I can kick you out whenever I want. It's fine. Subtle
I'll be in the
threat.
middle of something. Oh yeah. No. But no, that's actually a good point. That's a very good point. And I do plan on you know trying to get some higher um visibility roles and some paying roles eventually. So um that's something to think about. So that's definitely something, because I was trying to build a website, but instead, make a YouTube channel.
Trust me, as someone that programs half the time, building a website it's work. Okay, it's
Yeah.
especially maintaining it, and with every update, you'd think it's just like posting the entire thing. No, sometimes you have to remake the entire code in the back end, and
Hmm.
oh god,
Hmm.
no. Oof.
I,
Please
I
no.
have some experience with code and stuff like that, but nothing to whereas I could update a website with. So yeah, I think the YouTube channel is probably the way to go.
Yeah, that way it is. In that way it is. Although I think, but don't quote me on this, I think Madame Strangeways, our next guest, actually has experience in building a website, or she is using a template website. I'm not entirely sure, but I will ask her in the stream though.
Yeah,
Because
I've
now I'm.
used a template website, and there's just there's so much restriction to what you can do in those things. And I mean, it's great for simple things like a like a bakery or a floral arrangement thing, like
Sure.
something local.
Yeah, the simple things.
But for something that something that's gonna require a lot of different things, like I want to showcase my accents or something like that, or um the way that I narrate certain things. So it's like it's gonna have to have all these like sub pages and such like that. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
the
that's gonna
YouTube
be
channel is
difficult.
the way to go. So keep an eye out for that.
Oh, well, definitely will. I also fully expect you to announce it on the servers that I am in, so.
I will absolutely do that once I get a foothold and get a few things up there. I'll let you guys know.
Are you happy, Cryptic? You pushed someone into having a YouTube channel. Are you happy now?
How
I hope
dare
you
you
are.
further my career? I mean,
How
geez.
dare you? Let me see. Yeah, Cindy finds it funny when I say yada yada yada. I mean, to be fair, I have no idea where that came from. Just slipped out. Um, Also, she followed Madame Strangeway on Instagram today. You should. You should. She's a talented storyteller. I highly recommend anyone that is watching this now and in the future to go ahead and give her a subscribe as well. Follow and subscribe, as well as Eric. Which
Yes.
reminds me, Eric, your current socials are Facebook and Instagram, yes?
My Facebook page got deleted for some reason. So,
Oh, really? Oh,
right now,
I have that link in the description, so I'm gonna change that in a while though, during the break.
yeah, my Facebook, my professional page got deleted for one reason or another because I have no idea. But my brother was running that because I actually stopped Facebook for a little while because it was affecting my mental health.
Oh,
Seeing all the BS that was going on there.
yeah, no. I only use Facebook nowadays for Messenger at best.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I use. Um, and it's just like one day I tried to log back in to see if how things were going, um, and it's just gone. So I
Oh,
do have
that's
my
sad to hear.
Instagram page,
That's
though.
sad to
It's
hear, but
Erik Fones actor.
I was about to say I did tag you on Instagram as well, so I think that's the right one at least. They had the same profile picture and anything, and everything.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. As long as it has that that picture up, it's part of my voice acting stuff. That
Hey.
picture was actually commissioned for me by my good friend Emmy, and she's a fantastic artist.
Oh, oh.
She does a
I
lot
do,
of different things.
I do like her style on this one. Now that I'm giving it a closer look.
Yeah, yeah. I believe her tag's on there somewhere. So if you look at it, just go follow her.
Definitely. Yeah, you'll have to send me the link later on. I'll definitely put her in
I
the
will do that.
description as well.
Yes, yes, please do. Yeah, I'll send it to you after we're done here.
Let me have another look in the chat here. Jessica Sweatman joined us here. Well, hello, Blueberry. Welcome to the stream. So happy you're here. Cryptic says Messenger can be a separate app, dummy. See, there he is with the sass. There he is. This is what I mean.
All right, we don't need to be name calling Cryptic. Come on.
Yeah, he called me dummy. What? He can. Wait, hold on. He can name call me, but I
No.
can't name call him.
No, I said we don't need to be name calling anybody Cryptic.
Oh, with a comma.
I
All
was
right,
I
got
was
it.
I was chastising him or
No, it's fine. I didn't notice the comma there. It's fine. Don't get on my nerves.
Them, not you.
Now he says, don't get on my nerves, Dr. T, or my video screen time. But what? Or no video screen time in the next big project. You called me sassy, whatever that means. Well, sassy means having an attitude, Cryptic, like right now.
Sassy's a compliment. What are you talking about?
Yeah, sassy is a compliment. Like, yeah, badge. It's fantastic. Where the hell did that accent come from?
I have no idea. I was just gonna let it go. I was just gonna move on. But I mean,
Look,
if we want to talk, it'll be like, "Yes, Queen."
Oh God, no, we are not doing that. Cryptic Tale, look who's talking, having an attitude. I mean, it's my stream. I can have an attitude. I think, right? Eric, back me up here.
Yes, absolutely. You can have all the attitude you want.
There you go, Drama Tales. There you go. I can have all the attitude.
We're in the attitude era of DrTorment.
We're in the attitude. This is my villain origin story, alright? Cryptic Tales. Nah, I'm not like that. I'm straight. Well, I wasn't implying anything with it. Like sassy. I mean, how do I... Eric, you explain it. You explain it.
Well,
in a non-yeah bitch way.
Yeah. I mean, just a snippy attitude.
Snippy, yeah.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, snippy.
Sarcasm, stuff like that. That's I'm sassy. I'm all about the sarcasm.
See, we're all about the sass around here. We love sass. Sass is fun. Cryptic, I'm basically calling you fun. Take the compliment, please.
Yeah, jeez. He was really offended by that.
No, he isn't. No, but also for viewers, it might interest you to know that me and Cryptic will be having a little shindig going on Monday as the last live stream of July, so keep an eye out for that. No, you
say.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fun between us. We had such fun at the last stream, like talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, cursed at a movie, and it was a lot of fun. We both didn't like it.
You know, the effects were good.
The effects were good. I like the animatronics as well. Like, they were well made.
Yes.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But the
I
story.
think my biggest problem was that it was a family drama set in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe.
It was a family drama with a rom-com attitude set in FNAF. Yeah. Yes, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I was not a fan of the games, so I don't really know.
How dare you? You heretic.
Too much about it. But,
you heretic.
Well, I mean, I never played them. It's not that I'm not a fan of them. I just never played them.
Well, I did. Now what you gonna do?
Well, excuse me.
Excuse you, indeed.
I mean, I watched wrestling when The Rock was popular. Does that mean?
Oh man,
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I have no idea what. I don't know. Were you trying to segue into Black Adam or something? Because I'm not getting the logic there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, we were talking about. Oh, that we were talking about. What were we talking about? FNAF, right? FNAF. I'm sorry. I just got home, ladies and gentlemen. So excuse me if I'm going to be a little absent-minded today.
See, you're gonna chastise me, but I agree with Cryptic as well. WWE is good, and I just actually got back into it after a several years long hiatus, and it's definitely coming into something special now. So
WWE, that's the wrestling organization, yes. Right?
Yes.
Right. So,
WWF.
Is that the same one where they have these theatrical wrestling quote-unquote matches? Or the real one where the blood and everything flows?
Well, I mean, there's blood, but yeah, it's more, it's just a couple of stuntmen throwing each other around the ring.
Right.
With some acting in there. Which...
I mean, personally, my introduction to WWE was the South Park episode. And I thought, like, it's South Park, so they're obviously exaggerating, right? That's how I was thinking. Then I went and actually watched some of it, and I was like, holy damn, they actually didn't exaggerate for once.
No, there's a lot of overacting.
Overacting, like actual acting?
Yes. Yeah. They cut
you went out of my sister's stepmother. You are no longer my friend. What?
Exactly. It's like, oh, I'll tell you something, brother. Like, Hulk Hogan. And,
right.
The Ultimate Warrior, where he was completely unintelligible when he would do his promos. But yeah, I mean, it's just an act. They're just characters. And they're basically just glorified stuntmen, but it works. It's worked for how many years now,
I mean, yeah, I'm also of the principle, like, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. If it works, It works. Like, there are several YouTubers I don't enjoy listening to, for example. One of them is Chills. Don't ask me why. It's just the tone of his voice, like, it's very monotone. It sounds like a whiny teenager. Like a whiny teenager cheerleader girl, and I just cannot take it seriously. But at the same time, I have to commend Chills, because he does have over 1 million subscribers, so I cannot really argue there with him. I don't like the voice, but again, it works for him, so, more power to him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've come across a couple like that, and it's, in the same vein, it's like, Dave Matthews. Everybody loves the Dave Matthews Band, at least over here, and I find him annoying.
Here, Cindy agrees with me. Not a fan of Chills. His voice creeps me out. Cryptic Tale says, "What's wrong with Chills?" Well, I'm gonna say this in my pretend Chills voice. What Cryptic Tale said. Number 9, Burger King foot lettuce.
I thought we were doing Beatles.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible at it. Like, again, I'm not trying to diss the lad, but like, he's obviously doing a very good job on YouTube, but it's just not for me.
That's fair.
It's just not for me.
There's, yeah, and I mean, I know my stuff isn't everybody's cup of tea. I get that.
But you have to live with that, because not everyone can be a fan, or you know. There are always gonna be people that don't like the way you speak or stuff like that. There will always be people like that, but you know, it's not like it's going to off you, you know.
Yeah, I don't let it bother me. I did when Carver first came out. You know, I was green. I was a rookie, and I made the mistake of looking at the comments on IMDb, and yeah.
Yeah, that's also a rule.
It almost made me want to quit.
Yeah, that's also a rule. Like, if you are in a position like if you are an actual actor, it actually helps not to look up specifically like comments that critique you, or just be nasty for the sake of being nasty. That's just stupid.
I mean, it was them going, you know, sharing their thoughts on the movie, which I'm all for. I'm all for people sharing their thoughts and letting what they're thinking about known. But I mean, there were a couple of them that were just like, this movie's garbage, and the actor that played the killer was fat and he's ugly, and you know.
Yeah, okay. See, that's just being nasty for the sake of being nasty. That's nothing.
Exactly,
that's not critique.
But now, you know, I'm older. I grew up. I don't let that stuff bother me. But you know, if I saw a lot of it, it probably would still bother me. But
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, there were some people in the way beginning. I tried to do like analog horror at some point in the channel, you know, just as a little in between little stuff, and a lot of religious people were not a fan and were being nasty, and I was like, oh, this is not real. Why are you taking it so seriously? But again, they were being so nasty. At some point, I started like spam DMing my Instagram and other socials. Like, okay, I'm just like, I could either like stop all the profiles I had and start anew, which I couldn't be asked with, to be honest, for a few people who just, I don't know how it affected them in life, but fine. Or I could just like stop the series, and for me it was less of a hassle to just stop the series and just continue on with the narrations. I still have them on the channel, they are just unlisted.
I gotcha.
Well, back to the... I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna have a little look in the chat, but there was some activity there. Madame Strangeways, hello! So Madame Strangeways, welcome to the stream where you will be in as well in a bit. She thought it was a
co-guest.
Apparently it was a Yoko Ono reference. She thought it was.
Yeah, it's talking about the Beatles track where it's just number 9, number 9, number 9. That's what I was thinking of when he said
number 9, Burger King food lettuce.
I have no frame of reference for the rest of it, though. I just know the number 9 thing.
Everybody saying hi to Madame Strangeways. Excellent. Marty checking in from the USA. Nice. Cindy says, Dr. T knows where I live. Well, yes, Virginia. See? I remembered.
Oh, I'm from Virginia as well, Cindy.
Oh, look at that there. You have a neighbor.
Indeed. Well, I mean, Virginia is a big place, so...
In the sense of the cosmological scale, you two are neighbors, okay?
Oh, okay. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you on that.
Thank you. You should do that more often. You should do that more. Like, I'm speaking truths all the time, and people are always surprised when I do.
Yeah.
Cindy lives in Norfolk, she says. Well, okay.
I'm from Northern Virginia in the Centerville area. I'm about like 20 minutes outside of Washington, D.C., which is maybe not the best thing ever, but...
Oh, it isn't? Maybe I'm missing some context there, though.
Oh, because DC, like, I mean, if anything was going to start anywhere, it'd be DC, right?
Ah, in that sense. Okay, yeah, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I mean, I've lived in this area for all of my life, pretty much. So it's interesting. It's kind of like a suck hole. You know what I mean? You can never leave because it's just one of those things that you just get used to, and it's like Artax, being sucked into the quicksand on Neverending
Yes.
Story.
Oh,
It's the
why why did you have to reopen that childhood wound? Why? What have I ever done to you,
Why?
Eric? I've given you nice roles on my channel,
This
from
is true.
from a demon to a hunter, and now you do this to me. Why? What have I done?
Well, I mean, it was the best analogy I had.
Betray
It's like
you!
the swamp of sadness here in the DC area, and it's
I'm just thinking of the horse. Oh,
yeah.
oh.
No, Artax,
No, shut up!
don't be sad.
Shut up!
Sorry, sorry.
I was sad. Don't talk about the horse. Oh, am I? Alright, I'm not gonna lie. Was that?
My son broke into my room here.
Okay, that was scary, not gonna lie. That was a little scary, because like a ghost...
A little bit, okay? Children.
It was a little scary, like out of nowhere you hear a child voice saying, "Mommy?" It's like, oh, where have I seen this before?
Wasn't saying mommy. I'm not his mommy. So.
Oh, I thought I heard mommy, but
No, he said
I could have
Daddy.
misheard. I could have misheard.
You did. You definitely did.
Yes, still calling out for a parent out of nowhere. It's like, did I have kids? At least on my end, I was like, huh, Daddy? Like, huh? Come again? What?
Just the ones in your head.
Ah, yes, welcome. The good thing about schizophrenia, at least you're not alone.
Well, that's what, I mean, they say about Alzheimer's, you meet someone new every day.
Yeah, there you go. Always look on
the positive side of things.
Always look on the bright side of life. A little sick. Oh, you were whistling.
I was whistling because of the
Life of Brian reference. Yeah, I'm an old movie fanatic like that.
Monty Python's classic, man.
Oh yes, can never go wrong with them. I'm happy to reference whatever I can. Like you'd be surprised how many references I threw in live streams and nobody got it. It's amazing.
That's sad.
It's amazing.
Jabberwocky was a little iffy, but
a little, but not entirely.
Yeah, no. It was just like, and now for something completely different.
Completely different. And now, ducks.
Talking to you as a man on the street. I'm not a man. I'm not on the street.
That is but a flesh wound.
Come back and I'll bite your kneecaps off.
Alright, we'll call it a draw. We have divulged into Monty Python quoting. Excellent. Yes. Excellent stream. What an excellent stream so far. It's the best part when we get to quote certain references. Cindy is a big Monty Python fan, she says. I think we had a similar situation like this, Cindy. Come think of it. One of the earliest streams, I think one of my solo streams where I started referencing Monty Python, and she did, like... I'm trying to snap, but I'm not sure if my microphone gets it.
It picked it up. I definitely heard it.
Alright, so...
It was a good snap.
The first time I ever did a reference like this, Cindy just got it. It's amazing. I love having fans like that.
I mean, that's how you know that they're your people. They get your references. As obscure as they might be, they still get them.
It's how I disappear from YouTube in a while. My people need me.
He's not the narrator we deserve, but he's the narrator we need.
He's the narrator we now have on YouTube because his channel is not deleted for some reason. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Marty, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. So Marty's sister went to high school in Dale City, they say.
Oh,
And
cool.
they themselves are from
not
Richmond,
far.
Virginia.
Richmond's Richmond's a couple hours, but Dale City is maybe 45 minutes away. So that's pretty cool, you know. One of the regular authors on the No Sleep podcast, Marcus Demanda, he lives in Woodbridge, and I've talked to him a couple times. It's kind of cool to talk to him.
Did you also feature in the No Sleep podcast? Come think of it.
I have not.
You
I
haven't?
That's one of the big marquee things that maybe one day, but not yet.
Maybe one day. One day, maybe. Not yet. We'll see what happens after the stream, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not expecting anyone from the No Sleep podcast to actually be watching, but on the off chance you do, please hire this guy. Please do.
I would really like it if you did.
On second thought, maybe.
Sorry, you didn't like my Oliver Twist voice.
No, I did, don't worry.
May I have some more?
I was just yanking your leg.
Well, I mean, I thought we were saving that for after the stream, but if that's the way you want to go.
No, not that leg. Anywho, back to the family. Back to the family friendliness of the stream.
Yeah, I probably should have checked with you on that first.
I did say earlier on that you did feature in a couple of stories on the channel itself. And I believe the very first one was the 7 Gates of Hell, right?
Yes.
If my memory serves me, because I'm going on the top of my head right now.
I believe that's what it was. Yeah.
Right, and you did the
narration on that, right?
You did a certain sin, which I had to bleep out on YouTube, because YouTube is fun like that, but it rhymes with grape.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I recall that one.
Yeah. That was the very first. That was a fun story to do. Like, it was the first story I had you in the channel. And it also prompted me to ask you to do the voice for the hunter in the second story, Decay.
Yep.
So, I believe what I want to ask you overall so far, because I know it's been a while since we did those stories, but overall so far, how did you feel about them yourselves?
About the stories?
Yes.
I love doing them. You know, I just I had a lot of fun with them, so...
I can tell, because you really got into character in both of them. Like, I could actually believe in the first one you were one of the demons that was around. Yeah. Especially the tone of voice, the malice you can put in. That was... Yeah, it was kind of underlying the malice. I liked that very much, even if it was like 2 sentences, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 2 sentences. But yeah, I mean, hey...
That's an impression you can leave.
Subtle.
I mean, my god, that's an impression you can leave. You say only 2 sentences and immediately I think like, huh, next story, Decay. Gonna ask him to be the gruff little hunter.
Well, I sincerely appreciate that, and I hope we can collaborate more in the future.
Oh, definitely.
It's been fun doing your stories.
Oh, definitely. I do have some stories in line which do require characters. One of those stories is a continuation of Decay. And I do believe that the same hunter is in it, so do keep an eye out for that in your DMs. Because when it comes to stories with continuation, I do prefer the same voice actors to be in it.
That's always nice.
That's always nice, of course. I am very nice, you may have noticed.
I have. You're a saint.
Ah, no, I wouldn't go that far. Oh, no. I wouldn't go that far.
It's just, I was being sarcastic about that.
Oh, are you going to put in the sass now?
But you are very nice. I've always said that, and I've actually, like, I talked to my wife about projects that I do, and I talk about my Discord buddies, and I've never had anything bad to say about you.
So far. Just you can let me have a little look in the chat.
Some time, right? Talking about medium rare cheeseburgers.
Oh yeah, I just ate and now I'm hungry again. Thank you, Cindy, for that.
Right, I'm always down for a good cheeseburger. That's my favorite food of all time.
With onions.
You do so many things with that.
I like it with spicy cheese.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
you gotta have the spicy cheese.
You gotta have the spicy cheese.
All right, Cindy, we're on our way.
Madam says, Cindy's grilling for us, everyone. Yes.
Well,
Let me just get my plane ticket. Let me just get my plane tickets. I'll be there in an hour. Cryptic Tale says, BK. I'm not familiar. Is that short for something? Oh, Burger King. No, not Burger King. We want actual burgers.
I mean, I'll eat a BK burger. Like, I've never really met a burger that I didn't like, except for McDonald's. But
yeah, McDonald's is weird, right?
Their food is junk.
I mean, yeah, it's junk food. It's literally in the name.
Literally, yeah.
But,
I mean, but every once in a while, there's a craving that comes for a McDonald's fries or a McDonald's burger.
I mean, the McDonald's fries I can get, but I don't know. I once had a Generous Jack, it was called. And for that money, I would have paid for an actual burger at an actual joint. Not. I was severely disappointed.
Right. I mean,
there's something with the meat, like.
Down to it, I'm gonna go.
There's something with the meat, like it has no taste.
Yeah. No, I either that or it's oversalted, like
oh,
big time.
that. Yes.
It's like cloying, But I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm just gonna go put a couple hamburgers on my grill and do that myself, because I mean it tastes better. It's better for you.
Definitely.
It's just I love cooking. I love cooking and baking. It's very cathartic. So I'm pretty good on the grill. I can bake some good stuff. But yeah, I've always loved cooking.
Yeah, me too. For me, it's more therapeutic. Like if I had an especially off day, me being busy in the kitchen really helps out a lot.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't believe. It. Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely it's both. It's hard work, depending on what you're doing.
Definitely.
But at the same time, it's cathartic. It's a good way to just get some stress out, to kind of relax and kind of.
I was about to say it's a good reliever.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Let me see.
I love baking, especially. I do mean cheesecake, and I do some pretty good cookies as well. So I haven't done them in a while, but for the most part, I get by.
I was about to say baking is not really my forte though, but I can understand when somebody is into it, especially with cookies. Can never go wrong with cookies.
Yeah, well, it's much more scientific. Like with cooking, you can play around with the stuff. You can put different spices or do them different ways. But with baking, it's pretty much you do it this way, or you're gonna get like a big tub of gross.
It's all applied sciences.
Yes.
Cryptic says that McDonald's fries are good. Do you guys have the long chicken menu item at Burger King? Yes, actually, yes. We actually do have that around here. That's the only thing in Burger King I can eat, the long chicken.
Like the classic chicken sandwich?
I think it is that.
Yeah, like it's like on a sub roll, and it's just like that. Yeah.
It might be that. Yes, it's that. It's the only thing I can eat from there, because I don't know. It's something with chicken. I just love chicken.
I mean, wait till they put the long pig menu on BK.
I might just live there. I might just live there. I might just
I mean,
live there and have my Italian grandparents roll in their graves for it. But then again, I'm also the kind of bastard that would do it just for that. So.
I mean, Long Pig is people, so I don't think that's ever gonna happen. But
yeah, okay, that joke went over my head, and I'm the one who makes cannibalism jokes in the Discord. So, okay. Yeah, damn. Why do I? This is not the first time this happens, you know. Like somebody mentioning long pig, and I actually think of bacon, like long slabs of bacon on the plate. It's like, oh yes, and then people is like, oh, by the way, I'm talking about humans, you know, on a spit. Oh. Well,
I mean, I don't blame you because
what's different?
Amazing, so.
Basically, like, oh, what's different?
Yeah.
Madame Strangeways, you heard it here first, folks. Dr. Torment is a cannibal. I mean, I'm an eldritch entity, Madame Strangeways. If I eat humans, it's basically like eating popcorn. Not sure what this is about. Cryptic says, finished the last ticket just in time before the clock. Congratulations. And also bacon, ew, because it's not halal, so I can get that, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we have chicken and that's what we have chicken and mutton for, though. Assuming I'm not an expert on this, I'm just saying it is. Hello, Salem. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome. We were just having fun. We're talking about cannibalism and Burger King.
Okay, we can't talk about Jinxie anymore because she's actually listening.
We can no longer talk about Jinxie too. That is a shame. That is a shame.
We were on a roll too.
We were on a roll too. Like almost an hour we were talking about Jinxie the entire time. Now she's just back into the stream. Oh. Cryptic, y'all so weird for real. Thank you, Cryptic. I do run an asylum. I do run an asylum. I run an asylum, Cryptic. So if people were being normal, that would be weird.
It's a very good compliment, Cryptic. I appreciate you.
Right? Salem's yummy. Sounds good. Okay, we'll have you a long pig sandwich then. It's gonna be fun.
The long pig special. The long pig surprise.
The long pig surprise, yes.
Is it you, Cryptic?
Ooh.
Are you finished work?
Jinxie, that's fine. I'll just leave. Hanging out with Erik puts me to sleep anyway. Ooh, shots fired. Ooh.
She loves me and she knows it.
We were just joking, Jinxie. Don't worry. We'll love you to stay. I think. Yes, maybe? Yes, we'd like you to stay. I have to say yes, because...
I vote. Yes.
I vote yes, too. Kiddies, what do you think? Well, they're walking away from me, so that's universally yes. That's a universal
you
yes.
have 3 cats, right?
I have 3 cats, yes. A mother and 2 daughters.
Oh, that's nice.
One of them just jumped on the desk and just jumped off because she loves chaos, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, she just wants to watch the world burn.
Eve, definitely.
I have 2 cats as well. My orange tabby that I had for 12 years passed away last year.
No.
And she had cancer. Yeah, I had to put her down. And,
Oh.
So it sucked. You know, she was my little girl. You know, I had her for a long time, and but you know, time heals all things. And come Christmas, my wife and my son went to see my sister-in-law, and they come home with this little tiny kitten, and it was just like, it was just the pick-me-up that I needed. This little, I've never had a boy cat, so it's.
Have I seen different. This one? I don't think I've seen this one. Have I?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have a look.
I've shared pictures of them.
During the break, I'm gonna have a look in the server, well, my server that is, and see if you ever posted any picture of the new one. But yeah, the orange tabby. The orange tabby I do remember from the from the Hoarder show.
Yes.
I do remember
she-
on the Hoarder show server, indeed. So yeah. Oh, she passed away. I didn't know this.
She did. She did.
Oh,
But yeah, she had fluid in her lungs,
I'm sorry, man.
and it looked like she had cancer, and they were just like, we could keep removing the fluid, but we don't know when it's gonna come back, and I wasn't gonna let her suffer, so
Understandable.
I let her, have
Yeah.
her peace.
Yes. Ah, that's actually kind of sad. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. Like I said, it was a year ago. I still miss her a whole lot, but at the same time, I've got Luke, my son, to worry about, and my new kitten Umbreon, who likes chaos as well. So
I was about to ask for the other kid. Yes, Umbreon, right?
Umbreon, yes.
Is that a particular reason you named it after a Pokemon?
No, he was just all black, and he has this little white tip on his tail, and it made me think of an Umbreon. And Umbreon's one of my favorite Pokemon, so I just named him Umbreon.
Oh, now I want to play Pokemon on the Game Boy Color again. Oh, the nostalgia trips today.
I have an Umbreon tattoo on my right calf. So.
For real?
Yeah, I got a shiny Umbreon. I've got like 8 tattoos.
God damn.
But yeah, the shiny Umbreon was there.
Body is a canvas, as they say.
My plan is to have a whole half leg sleeve, I guess you'd call it, of Pokemon stuff. So.
No, Jinxie is not impressed. Just 8, she says. Amateur, she says. Jinxie, cryptic. I think someone took your crown of sass away. Cryptic.
Yeah, she's going for the sassy title.
Also, cryptic, congratulations that you have finished work. Congrats, man.
Hooray!
Hey.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And there was much rejoicing.
There was much rejoicing indeed. But with this all said, we have now been in the stream for about an hour. Shall we say we take a 5-minute break here?
Sure thing, yeah.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna put it in the chat that the 5-minute break is about to start. And also a small reminder that if you are a writer or someone that loves to write stories on their own, and you wish to have your stories narrated, please contact me on drtormentnarrations@gmail.com or visit the link tree in the description, and I'll definitely get back to you. Now with that said, let us start the break. And we have returned. Sorry, that took a little while longer than 5 minutes. I had to pour myself a little glass of happy juice, shall we say. And with me still is Erik Fones.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello indeed. It has been a long while. How are you?
It's been way too long.
Way too long.
Way too long. I've got a cat at my foot now, so
Oh,
they got into the room with me.
the kitty chaos starts at your end too?
Yep.
Okay, so far mine have been behaving, but I'm expecting a change any moment now. So maybe you'll still be here when that happens.
Maybe.
And I hope it doesn't, because the last times they did absolute chaos, they like stopped the stream twice. So yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. But I've also changed location with my desk, so hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Oh, there you go.
Hopefully.
I just have the one under my desk, and she's just kind of begging for attention.
I mean, by all
I don't know
means,
where the baby is, but
by all means, give them attention.
of course.
Then we have. I was wondering, you found a creepypasta for reading, did you not?
I did. I looked on the Wikipedia, the creepypasta Wikipedia that you sent me, and
Yes.
I found one that is called "The Final Bus of Route 375."
The final boss of Route 375. That already sounds a little ominous.
Yeah, I mean, I did a brief reading of it, and it just looks like some weird things happened on a bus, and that it was in Beijing, China, and looks like it was the last bus for that route, and some really weird, there are some really odd things were with the bus itself when they investigated it.
Oh. Oh, well, that sounds fun. I'm actually intrigued. I'm actually a little intrigued. Like, you never know what happens on these abandoned American routes. I think it's about, at least abandoned is a long word, like these desolate American routes. Like, so many horror stories and even SCPs have been made around them. It's actually kind of fascinating. I'd almost call it Americana lore, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, no, it does. I actually live 20 minutes away from the Bunnyman Bridge. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Oh, I am familiar.
I live about 20 minutes away from there. I've been a couple times.
Because at some point on the channel, I also wanted to do real life ghost stories or experiences and places, and that was one of the first locations that actually was pinged on my radar for that. So trust me, I am familiar. That's a little. You actually live near that.
Yep. Yeah, it's like right down the street from me in Clifton.
Fun?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a couple times. It's definitely creepy. Like you just get the vibe of creepiness just by going down there.
You yourself haven't experienced anything there.
I'm very in tune to the spirit world, so I felt a presence, but I've not had any specific things happen to me. But it's also on private land, so they don't like me to go down there.
Nah, I get that. I can only imagine how many ghost hunters climbed over the fence and be like, "Alright guys, now we're gonna see if we can catch some ghosts." In the meantime, one of the property owners is there with a sawed-off shotgun like, "Get off my land!
You kids get off my lawn.
I'm gonna make you some ghosts if you don't buzzer off."
Make you squeal like a pig. Oh,
and that's
different.
That's different. That's the long pick. But, Erik, without further ado, do please, the stage is all yours. You may begin when you are ready. I'll just mute myself so you can fully immerse into the story.
You got it. The Final Bus of Route 375. This story happened on the bleak night of November 14th, 1995 in Beijing, China. An old man, some say an old woman, was waiting at a bus stop at midnight, making conversation with the only other person at the stop, a quiet young gentleman. When the midnight bus 375, the last bus for Route 375 from Yuanminghuan bus terminus, finally came, they both boarded it. The old man took a seat near the front of the bus while the young man sat a couple rows behind him. There were no other passengers along with them, except for the driver and a female ticket collector. After a while, the driver spotted two shadows by the side of the road waving at the bus. He stopped, and when the doors opened, three people got on. Two men who were supporting a third between them, holding him up by his shoulders. A man in the middle looked disheveled, and his head was bowed so that nobody could see his face. There was a dismal, calm atmosphere inside the bus. Shortly after that, the old man picked a fight with the young man under some silly pretense of stealing his wallet. The altercation escalated, and the bus driver forced them both off the bus. When they got off, the bus zoomed away. The old man was no longer angry. He told the young man that he had saved their lives. Those three new passengers did not have feet. They were floating. They were not living people, he said. After that, they went to the nearest police station to report what happened, but nobody believed them. The very next day, the bus company issued a statement. Last night, the final bus of Route 375 vanished, along with the driver and the ticket lady. The police immediately chased down the old man and the young man, who were initially assumed to be mentally ill when they tried to report the incident earlier. They were both interviewed on the news. On the third day, the police discovered the missing bus in a water reservoir about 100 kilometers away from its destination, Xiangshan, or so-called Fragrant Hills. Inside the bus were three very badly composed corpses. The mysteries surrounding this finding included the fact that the bus did not have enough petrol to go that far after a whole day's worth of travel, the fact that the petrol tank was filled with fresh blood instead of fuel, the fact that the corpses found were too decomposed for just 48 hours. Even if it was summer, the process of decomposition would not be this quick. An autopsy confirmed that there had been no intentional meddling with the bodies. And finally, the fact that even after the police went through the security cameras set up around the various entrances to the reservoir, they found nothing out of the ordinary. To this day, it remains an unsolved mystery. Apparently, that is credited to Scary for Kids.
Oh, sorry, my mute button wasn't working there. So that was short yet powerful, I want to say.
Yeah, that's kind of why I took a liking to it. That and the line about the gas tank being filled with blood instead of gas.
I was about to say, probably that had something to do with it.
Probably, yeah, just a little bit. But it was fun.
The ghost child has returned. I heard him in the background.
Yes, even though he said he wouldn't make any noise if I let him be in here.
That's all right. Like, I have no reason to sleep at all today, so by all means, do scare the hell out of me, kid. It's fine.
Right.
Let's see. In the chat, Salem says, Dr. Torment, are you familiar with the Donner Party? It's a real-life event, takes place during the Pioneer Era. Quick description, the settlers are battling the harsh winter elements, run out of food, and end up eating each other. Cindy says, I love the Donner Party story. I actually have heard of that. I actually put that in the chat. I have heard of that, but I didn't really know the details. I did know it was about basically the Andes mountains plane crash, but in the Pioneer Era. That's how I described it in my head, at least.
Yeah,
but that's
that sounds,
but
that's
the details are a bit more. Well, they're a bit more interesting though. But yes, I have heard of it, Salem. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, though. Cindy says that's a good story. Marty says that it was a great read. This is the first time you do a live reading, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
usually I have time to practice and prepare, but yeah, it was.
I mean, to be fair, in my defense, you had a whole month.
I didn't think about it honestly, but it's fine. Yeah, no, I just I liked it. I liked doing it on the fly. So that was interesting. That was new for me, and I think it went well. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, a little bit of cold reading actually does it. Like, you know, Tanner, when he was on the stream a few weeks ago, he also did like cold readings. He was nervous as well, but yeah, he actually did very good for his very first time live reading. I was actually surprised.
Yeah, he's a talented man.
Let me see in the chat. DLSMM. Oh god, who I wonder this is. Good story, Mr. Premier Wegen en Verkeer. Bastard. So basically, this is one of my personal friends again that's hopped in the chat and likes to mix English and Dutch because, well, I get a rise out of that. I genuinely hate that so much. Cindy, I love also the story of that plane crash. I read the book. Right, there was a book about it. I think it was a real life account of the people that crashed.
Mm-hmm. I haven't read it, but I know of it.
Jinxie says, her, 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 in her best Santa voice. You did better than Tanner, she says. DLSMM, they did cold reading in the Cold War. Well, hardy har, really now. Well, hardy har. Simple but effective as well. Yeah. It's a wordplay. Sure, it's a wordplay. It's a wordplay, indeed. Cindy, told by one of the people who survived. See? Knew it. Salem. Cindy is the book called Alive. I watched the movie, never read the book. Well, I only got familiar with the Andy story via National Geographic, like there was a documentary on it a few years ago. Well, a few years ago, what am I saying? Like 20 years ago or something like that. I was a young lad. I loved watching National Geographic.
It's still fun to watch that. Especially as you get older, it's just one of those things.
The commercials, though, are so long.
They really are.
Like, even back then, they were, like, ungodly long, and now it's like they expanded on it. Like, no.
They took it as a dare to make them longer.
DLSMM, thank you, teacher. Well, not until August again. So he's referring to my part-time job as an online teacher, by the way.
Oh, cool. I never knew that about you. That's very nice.
I never kept that a secret, I think.
No, you've just never mentioned it, that's all.
I mean, yeah, back then I wasn't when we first met, by the way. I haven't been doing this for that long.
Oh, okay.
When we first met, no, definitely not. But now I am. And also programmer part-time, which is also so much fun. It's a more flexible timetable than I thought it would be.
The Jinxie. Programming or the teacher?
Yes. Jinxie, he is also a traffic controller. No, that's in reference to what I do as a programmer. So I also do some IT, which is basically make sure a certain network thingy in Belgium doesn't go. Yeah, it's basically handling the traffic on their website. DLS Flexi Job Proximus. Could you please not? Dr. Edward... Oh, God, the puns. Lydia is proud of you. Well, that's good for Lydia. Lydia Genko, suck a nut. Where did Cryptic Tales go, says Cindy. Well, Cindy, I have no idea. I actually expected Cryptic to be still here, but I think Cryptic was, like, listening at work and is now on his way home or is about to be home. So it could be that. Because he did say he was just off his work. Erik?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes, I'm sorry.
I was just confirming there.
Yeah,
But
I'm still here.
But, ladies and gentlemen, this is also the part where I have to usher in a next break for the simple reason that Erik has to leave us right now, and I need to
Yes,
go
I'm
fetch. I need to go fetch our second guest as well. So while we do that, I'll just put in a little break again and get our second guest to be ready. Erik, do you have anything else to say for the crowd?
No, but just thanks for listening to me. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate you all. And my information is in the show notes, so you can come find me on Instagram and look out for my YouTube channel coming as well.
Yes, so during the break, I'll also put on an extra link to your Instagram channel so people can have a look at you. A very good look at you because you deserve that.
Yo,
You deserve
thanks.
that.
Oh, shucks, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, boy. You're so welcome.
Bye now.
All right, Erik, I bid you adieu. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes this time. And our second break is over. Erik has gone and joined his family for dinner in Virginia. And with me now is no stranger to the live stream, and also no stranger to the channel. I will reintroduce to you Madame Strangeways. Madam, come and step into the office and say hi.
Greetings, Doctor. Thank you so much for having me again.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Especially after the last live stream, I thought you had so much fun that you'd like to join a second one.
Well, you know, it's an asylum, so it's always a bucket of laughs.
It's up to you.
You know,
It's up to you.
okay, so there's asylums, and then there's sanatoriums. And are these the same thing? Is this an asylum / sanatorium situation?
Good question. I'm sure someone can answer that at some time.
Okay, well, let us know in the chat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jinxie. Hello, Dr. Edward. Hi, Cindy. Cindy, thank you so much. I saw that you followed me on Instagram, and I would love to know what your cat's name is that's in your profile. So let me know.
Yeah, she also has an orange one, I recall.
It was an orange cat. Very cute. And I'm also highly disappointed that there has been no kitty chaos so far on the live
So
stream.
far.
So I'm going to need these kitties to be a little bit more chaotic. So kitties, come on. Hop
So
to it.
far. You said it yourself, so far.
So far. Oh, and okay, Cindy says, my cat's name there is Penny. My orange cat is Copper. Oh, aw, that's so cute. Penny and Copper.
Right?
Those are cute. Cute names. Yeah.
Madam, so since last we spoke, I was wondering, I saw you had another story out on your website. Could you tell us more about that?
Oh, sure. So it's the most recent episode. There's 2 stories, and these come from Reddit, where I troll the depths of Reddit and then reach out and get permission, obviously, like you do. So one of the stories is based in Muskoka, Ontario, which I definitely knew how to say right off the bat the very first time
Lies.
that I ever saw it. I didn't have to look it up at all.
Lies.
I just knew. I don't know what you're talking about.
I saw the Instagram post.
So everybody, if you're not following me on Instagram, here's a perfect example of why you should go follow me on Instagram at Madame Strangeways. You can see my most recent outtake from the most recent episode, in which it is very clear that I am American because I did not know how to properly pronounce.
I'm American.
Canadian
I don't.
words.
I was about to say I'm
Yeah.
American. I don't know how Canadian works. Canadian
Yeah,
words work. I'm
exactly.
sorry.
How does any other country in the world work? That's what I was coming up against. But it's a really interesting story. It's this haunted cabin. I was going to say cottage and cabin at the same time, and it came out cabbage. So if anyone has any haunted cabbage stories, I would also be interested in those. You can submit those to me at madamestrangeways.com. But this was a haunted cottage in Muskoka, Ontario, and really kind of scary. But the through line between the 2 stories is cemeteries. There's a cemetery in both story.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are
And
fun.
who doesn't love a good cemetery in the middle of the night?
Let's see. DLS says here have an American driving license. That is some fantastic English, DLS. Fantastic. So, by the way, just to clarify, DLS is someone I know in real life, by the way, so I can talk to him this way.
Wait, doctor, do you have an American driving license?
No, not at all. I don't even know why they bring it up.
Okay, Jinxie says, Madam, try to so no. Madam,
Oh, God,
try
what's
to
that?
say, let me work this out. So there's 2 O's, and it's Canada, which is, I feel like, so it's going to be like an ooh sound, like Oh no. Ut
You good luck with that one.
Utesknia. That sounds like Chechnyan.
Yeah, right.
Uteskania. I'm final answer. Uteskania.
I'm
How did I
going
do?
with the Shania, something like that.
Is there a ch? It's not a k.
Well,
So it's
here's the
not
thing. Here's the thing.
Chechnyan.
I know for a fact Canada is settled by French and Dutch settlers, but
Oh, so yeah,
for
you've
me it's
definitely
easy.
got the
I got the shit
yeah,
with the
that's
Dutch.
not fair. Okay, wait. Utashenya. Really
There you go.
interesting.
Point for
Interesting.
Torment.
Okay, well, it was rigged. That was rigged from the get go. So that's not fair.
Jinxie, if you could please give us a French word, that is something we both do not excel in.
Well, okay. I feel like that is still not fair. You're
That's-
like, you could just like throw a rock and hit France.
I mean, that doesn't mean I'm familiar with French, you know. I don't know if you've noticed in the streams that I'm not really pro France. I'm Belgian and Italian. It doesn't
You
really
do
work
say-
this way.
If I listen, I think if you pronounce it France, then I feel like you do have a sort of like grasp of the French language
Mais
better
non, c'est
than
not-
I do.
mais non, c'est not-
I say France.
Mais non, c'est not possible.
Oh, okay. I know. Je m'appelle.
Oh God.
Right? Is that
I mean,
something? Oh, what is all Jinxie? What are you doing?
You are not wrong, but at the same
Oh.
time, I'm a stickler for tonation.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Okay, so now these are new words.
It's basically
Sa-
je
oh,
m'appelle.
Sawasan. Why are there so many W's? Why is that like it's giving Welsh? Sawasan.
I'm not entirely sure
Swedish?
what that is.
Esquimalt. Esquimalt.
These are Canadian words.
I don't-
I can understand this is not French. I can tell this is not French. Not at all.
Yeah. I think also the problem is that we don't have poutine in front of us. I think if we did, or like maple syrup, then I think maybe we would be able to pronounce these better.
Probably. Sorry, chat. So, Dr. Edward Richthofen, original name. Dr. Torment, from where are you? I've said it in several streams before. I am from Belgium. DLS says I'm Moroccan from Casablanca. Well, fine. That's good. Casablanca is actually a lovely place to visit. And Dr. Edward asks, Dr. Torment, you speak French? Ah, un petit peu, oui.
Yes. Then what he said for the English listeners that don't speak French, he just said, "Yeah, I do speak French." That's what he said.
Je ne parle pas français, non. Je suis fou.
I'm in this situation. I am Lieutenant Aldo Rain from Inglorious Bastards, where he's Buongiorno,
Buongiorno.
Gorlami.
Walami.
That's me. I'm him. God, that is such a good movie, and I love that scene.
He speaks the best
top
Italian
five.
out of the bunch, apparently.
No, that's
that
I
was
don't remember his character's name, but he's the one that was Dominic De Coco. Dominic De Coco.
Do cocco. Che cosa fai? De cocco.
And he's like, good. It's so good. It's so good.
I just love how Colonel Landa just plays along with he knows that they are not being Italian at all, but he just plays along with it.
I know, I should not say, I love Colonel Hans Landa because he's a Nazi, and I don't love Nazis, but I love Christoph Waltz's.
I was about to say you can love the character and the personage they
Yes.
plays.
Christoph Waltz does not know, but he is my husband, and I absolutely love that. I love his portrayal. I mean, he's still, anyone that watches that movie can clearly say he stole the movie, and I agree. My husband is very talented, so thank you.
I'm just gonna have a stop here. DLS, I'm just gonna say it once, but do mind the talks there, because I do have an option to block you.
That's a song, and I know Voulez-vous coucher avec moi is from Moulin Rouge, and I know it is saying something inappropriate, DLS, and the answer is, I think in France you say N-O-N, but I don't, non? No? How do you say it?
Just
in
no.
French. No? It just sounds cooler.
No.
Anyway, that's my answer. No.
Especially that last comment, DLS. That that's a no on the channel. Just consider this a one-time warning. I am gonna remove some of these comments though. But yeah, I'm not gonna. That's a no on the channel. Just keep that in mind. I know Cindy says I know what it says.
Yeah, watch out.
Trust me, you and half the Cindy, you and half the world knows what it says. I mean, it's fine to have an opinion, DLS, but keep it in mind that also YouTube is child-friendly these days, and a lot of people don't like that kind of talk, so no.
No. Exactly.
Especially what he loves about American mothers. I'm gonna remove that because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube just yet.
You know, I think those haven't made it to the, I think you've got, I don't think people are seeing, I haven't seen it come through on YouTube yet, so I think you're getting ahead of it, so good job. Hey, while you're doing that, I've been thinking, so speaking of Belgium, I asked myself, I said, Madam, what is it that you know about Belgium? Because
waffles.
I think a lot of people, they don't, it's funny, I didn't even think of waffles. That didn't even come to mind. Number one, I was like, well, DrTorment is from Belgium. Number one. Number two, there is a dog from Belgium, and it's a Belgian Malinois, and I think I said that right. So
right, you want to hear the
on the back.
Belgian Malinois? You want to hear the Dutch version of that name?
I do.
And you may also pronounce it when you hear it. Ready?
Oh no.
A Mechelse herder.
Oh. Mechelse head. Oh, Mechelse. Oh.
Good luck.
Do it again.
Dutch is such a fun language. Mechelse herder.
Yeah, it's not happening, but I love that you can do that. I love that you can do it.
I'm from the north end of Belgium. We
That's
basically
great.
speak a bastardized version of the Dutch language. It's called Flemish. It's the same, just accent-wise, it's
Flemish.
different.
Yeah. Okay. I literally just today, going down another rabbit hole, I just learned. I was like, oh, Flemish is attached to Belgium. I had no idea. I didn't know where. I think I thought I would have told you France, which I guess would not have been very far off.
Not really.
The
south part of Belgium is French-speaking and also bordering France. And there's a huge misconception that everybody in Belgium knows and speaks French. This is not the case. It's a myth from World War II when American troops were stationed there during the Battle of the Bulge. And the only locals they found were, well, French-speaking, so they basically went, Belgium is France.
So Americans were just like, oh, we got the whole picture, it's fine. They're all French here. They're all French here.
Americans are Americans, yeah, indeed, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so, okay, you live there. There's a dog that's from there, the Belgian Malinois. There are monks that make beer there in a monastery. I'm aware of that.
We do have good monastery beer. Wow, you have done your homework, all right.
Well, that is what I knew going in. That's what I knew. Start off. That's what I could have told you. Also know where it is on a map. Right? Like I can point to it on a map. However, what I didn't know is folklore, like specific to Belgium, or like ghost stories specific to Belgium. So I looked some stuff up and I want to hear if you have heard of any of it.
Oh, definitely. Before you tell them, I'm just gonna have another look in the
Yeah.
chat here. Alberto Pecorino, welcome to the chat. He also says that you said it perfectly about the Mechelse herder. You can give it another try if you want to.
Thank you. I did say it. I don't need to say it again because I said it perfectly the first time. So, thank you.
Dr.
Alberto.
Edward. Dr. Edward says Flemish like flammable. Not entirely sure what I have to. Not entirely sure what he means with this. I mean, I suppose we are pretty flammable. Sure. Yes. Why not? Flemish people eat falafel meat. Yeah, we do like falafels. We do like to steal from other culture. We are very British like that. Cindy
Very
is...
English of you.
Cindy says, I'm getting confused. Well, Cindy, we are talking about Belgium. I don't know how the stream changed to the subject being my home country, but yeah, basically that's what we are talking about. Hellhound.
It's me. It's me. Oh yeah. Hi Hellhound. Hello Hellhound. What is this? What language is this?
Burge de Belge. Burge de Belge. That's a French slang.
What does it mean?
It's either a slang
Is it
or
about burgers?
No, not no. I want to say it's either a
burger right there.
It's either no. It's not no. No, it's not. It's not a hamburger. Oh, I think he's talking about the Belgian Shepherd, the Malinois.
Well, that's appropriate for Hellhound.
I mean, if you're going to be named after a hound, it makes sense you do. Yeah, see, Burge de Belge is French for the Malinois. Yeah, there we go. Like Malinois isn't like a French other kind of word.
Huh. Jinxie, I also like pecorino cheese. I don't know how we got there, but
because
I also
Alberto's
like it.
Alberto's name is Pecorino.
Oh, it is. That's it. That is a good cheese. That's a good cheese. And then Alberto is saying the different word from Belgium is taxes.
I think he's making a reference that Belgium has the highest taxes in Western Europe, or one of the highest taxes. But then again, this is not a political forum, so yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
You know what is good
Dr.
food
Edward.
in Belgium?
Yeah. What? Well, besides fries with mayonnaise, which we've established DrTorment does not eat.
I mean,
but
I
I
do.
would
I do eat.
happily.
I do, just not the mayonnaise.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is fries with mayonnaise. That's a thing. That's not a thing here. People look at you, even though Americans love mayonnaise, they do look at you weird when you eat fries with mayonnaise here.
Genuine mayonnaise. Like American mayonnaise is, to us, we call it American sauce. You call it mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's true. No, that's probably true.
Alberto, I'm seeing that comment you're making towards Cindy. That's going to get removed, and you are warned by this one. So, just to say, the pecorino is also a bit of an Italian slang. I'm not going to indulge in that, but just so you know.
Interesting. Today I learned. Okay, so here are the things that I pulled up for you from Belgium. And if we're talking about Belgium, it's because I brought it up. I'm sure. Like if you're like, how did we get here? It's because I.
Oh no! I had some soul. I had some soul searching. I had some soul searching the last 2 minutes. Trust me, I know.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so the first one that I pulled up is Belgian folklore. They're called buck riders, is the translation. I think the Dutch, I should have sent this to you in Discord. The Dutch looks like Boken riders. Like there's a J. I don't know what you do with a J. Boken. Here, let me just send this to you. And then the French as well. Let's send it.
Let me have a look.
Never heard of this.
Ah, the Bokkenrijders.
Bokenrijders.
The
Okay,
Chevalier, the Chevalier du Bok.
All right, well, those are apparently called the buck riders. Now, I've also seen them referred to as riding flying goats instead of riding flying bucks.
Right.
And so I've seen some illustrations as
Yes.
male deer
Here's
and
the
some
thing.
as goats. Which one?
That's the thing. A bok. Well, a bok. A bok is basically a male goat in the Dutch language, hence bokken.
Okay, that makes sense because not all of the, but a lot of the like translated English stuff I found is showing, like an actual like a deer, but when it's translated from Dutch, then they're saying goats. So the mystery has been solved. So these folklore characters that ride flying goats through the air, and they are aligned with the devil. Have you heard of these, apparently?
I actually have. It's also a bit of a... They are aligned with the devil, but at the same time they have a Robin Hood status here too.
Okay, so from basically the truncated version of what I was reading is that this folklore, they're part of like Southern Dutch, Northeastern Belgian, folklore. They're witches who rode through the sky on these flying goats.
Right.
And the devil provided said goats, right? And then, though, this actual group of thieves that are not witches and criminals then kind of hijacked the name of the Buck Riders and then used that to terrorize people while they were looting and pillaging. Is this right? Because you're saying Robin Hood, and that sounds like an offshoot of what I was reading, which
right.
I like Robin Hood better.
It definitely depends on the source material, because sometimes, yes, they are villainized as you say they are terrorizing the land, they are looting and pillaging and stuff, but it doesn't really say who they were looting and pillaging. Like, mostly they are aligned with enemies of Flanders that they were looting and pillaging, and they gave back to the poor from which, the rich stole, in the name of the Dutch, in the name of the duchies of the Netherlands, or the king of the Netherlands, or the Spanish Empire, depending on story there. But yeah, it kind of gets on with who you're asking, basically. There's no concrete
I was going to
story.
say, yeah, that is really interesting because the research that I was reading was saying, that no, they're bad, and like they were looting churches, they were attacking churches, and they were attacking farms, and it actually like impacted the way that farms in Limburg specifically were built, and they started building moats around their farms.
It's my province, by the way.
Oh, really? That's so crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
I
used my third eye, and I sensed that you were based out of Limburg, and that's why I pulled this story up.
That's why you were so surprised when you first heard
is.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's acting. It's called acting. So that's all that is.
Wow, that attitude. It's called acting. You should try it sometime.
I mean, did I say that? I feel like you're twisting my words now.
Am I?
Like,
no, it
I
doesn't
think
sound like me. That would be very tormentful. That would be very tormentful of me to do.
It would be. It'd be almost like gaslighting, which feels like something that's what a tormentor would do. But also, this is also referencing back your sassification of the channel that was happening earlier when Erik was on. Y'all were talking about Cryptic being sassy.
Oh, right, you were there.
Yeah, I was here. I was listening. I'm always listening. Right, so your province has moats, so you must know that. You must have a moat outside of your asylum, then, because of the goat riders.
It's basically a floating. It's basically a floating island in the void. So the moat is everywhere.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like a void moat, a moat made of the void.
A void moat. There we go.
So here's what I thought was super interesting about this, though, is that it's like it's specifically saying that like around 500 men like died because of the like witch trials that were going through Europe, but tied specifically to the buck riders, the goat riders. which I thought was so weird because, statistically speaking, it was like 80 to 90% of the people that died during the witch trials were women. But then in your province in particular, it was men. Men were these goat riders, these like elk riders.
Yeah, around here we had like, the women have been burning everywhere else. Let's villainize a few men for a change. Let's be progressive.
So I love it. So Belgium, yes, very progressive, feminist country.
I wouldn't call
burn
it
the
that.
men.
Sure.
Keep the women. Don't burn them. Burn the men in this one instance. I just thought that was super fascinating.
It's basically like we need the women. Fuck the men. We don't need them.
Yeah, exactly. Just it's fine.
Sorry for the F-bomb, folks.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't me. It was you.
Yeah, it was me.
I was innocent. Okay, we've got pub talk in the chat.
I see.
We've got
Go ahead.
Pub downstairs.
Yes, I do have a pub downstairs in the asylum just for me.
Below the asylum. I'm there. I got there.
Absolutely.
I get it. And hi, Tommy Hees.
Dr. Torment loves pubs. Yes, I do. I do love cafes and pubs and visit them. Pub stomping. Besides these writers, did you have any other folklore and legends dug up from Belgium?
Okay, I do, and this is probably not typical, but it's a UFO wave that happened. Are you familiar with this?
Right, I've heard something about that during the 80s or 90s there was like a UFO surge in Belgium. Most infamous picture that was taken was a triangular UFO, which is where that got popular from.
Exactly. It was 1989 is when the UFO wave. Now, hold on. I thought we called UFO groups, UFO sightings flaps. That's what I thought.
Flaps?
That they were called, but I guess I don't know. That's just what I think ufologists call it, is a flap, when there's like a lot of UFO sightings at once.
Oh.
But in this case, it's being called a wave. So I don't know what the difference is. So if there are any ufologists or ufologists that are listening, please do not email me.
Or me.
It was neither of us. It was 1989, and it says reports were filed many weeks after the events, though, and it's like they peaked. The Belgian UFO wave peaked with the events of the night of the 30 or 31st of March 1990. And then over the next 2 weeks, many more reports of people are coming in. And then, though, you've got the triangle, right? The photo of the triangular object, which they are saying is a hoax, which that's disappointing, but I'll buy it. However, they said that this was a mass hallucination. Where is it? Not hallucination. This was a mass... oh my gosh, I'm trying to find it on this page. It was just so interesting. They were saying because someone came out, or, the news came out and said there were all these UFOs that were sighted, then suddenly everybody starts seeing UFOs. So like, which is it? Like, is it a psychological thing where people are just thinking that they're seeing UFOs because the thought has been implanted and they've been primed, or are they actually starting to see more UFOs? Are the aliens messing with us? I don't know. Food for thought.
It is. Oh, that's actually Thank you. No, I'm paranoid. I need to watch out of the window.
Maybe just close the curtains.
What's this now? Descending from Sharp 9, talking about symmetrical music. Why are private school hiding symmetrical music from us? Come again?
Oh. I don't know. That's a great question.
Oh, no,
Descending
this...
from Sharp 9.
Descending from Sharp 9, I have a specific ground rule about no self-promoting. This seems like self-promoting to your channel here, so, how about no? Thank you very much. Like, discussions are all fun and well, but, please, no. Descending, I don't sell. Oh, that's okay. Anyways, before we got derailed here, because I was still reading the chat, it's getting a little silly at the moment.
Y'all are silly. Yeah, so, I was just reading about those UFOs. Is that something, that y'all talk about? Like, not daily, but is that just like a known thing? Like, oh yeah, we live in Belgium. We know about the Belgian UFO wave of the 90s. Because, like, you just knew it off the top of your head. And, same with the buck riders. Is that standard folklore that y'all are all in the know of?
I can tell you that most of what you have now showed about the buck riders and the UFOs, it's not really daily talk. I don't even think it's even discussed openly. You'd have to have read about it or seen about it in a documentary to actually talk about it.
Okay, so then here's my follow-up question. What, or do you know of any, like, creepy folklore, scary ghost story stuff that's kind of specific to your area, or like any urban legends, like a Rona, in Mexico or in southern United States, that sort of thing. Do you have any of that?
We do have a... let me think. There was something. Hold on. There is a cryptid in Limburg itself.
Oh my god, a Limburg cryptid. That's specific. Oh my god. And it's not... Wait a minute. Let me guess what its name is. Is it DrTorment?
I'm not a cryptid. I'm an entity. That's a huge difference.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies.
But as I was saying, so in Limburg we do have a cryptid. I've forgotten the name. It's been a long time since I last discussed this. I've also forgotten in which region it was best known in, but I do know it was in the province itself. It's basically a werewolf, but with bat wings.
A flying werewolf?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's a werewolf with it's a werewolf with bat wings. I have forgotten what it was. A simple, stupid little name in Dutch, but still. All right, descending. I am
cryptid.
Descending from Sharp 9, please. That's enough about that. This is your last warning. Stop it, otherwise you're out.
I'm trying to find it. You know what? If you need, listen, doctor, if you need a few minutes to clean up the chat, I actually have a reading of a creepypasta that I have ready if you'd like to read it. Or if you'd like me to read it.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, great. Let's see.
All right, that's it. Goodbye, descending. So,
okay, great. You just let me know when you're ready.
Yes, just a little thing to the chat, folks. So I'm all for a few laughs. I'm all for discussing a few things, but don't spam the chat with conspiracy theories that have absolutely no merit or worth to discussing in, because we don't want to waste anyone's time. So therefore, descending from Sharp 9, you are banned from this chat at this very moment. If you want to If you want to join back, try next stream and try to be a normal person about this. Alright, because those trigger words will really not make YouTube happy, and I'm trying to make a career out of this. So by all means. In any case, Madame Strangeways, the stage is all yours. You may proceed.
Thank you very much. This story is titled, You Promised. Don't look behind you. Seriously, don't. There's no point. There's nothing there. You probably looked anyway, and since you're still reading, I guess I was right. Nothing was there. It strikes me as fascinating that when you tell someone don't look or don't turn around, their first reaction always seems to do the opposite. If I told you that looking at the ceiling directly above you would kill you in the most painful way, your reaction would likely be to do exactly that, just to prove to yourself that there's nothing to worry about. It certainly doesn't matter now, especially since you probably already looked at the ceiling. But what will you do when there is a real threat? Do you blame the warning for tempting you to look? Or do you blame yourself for being foolish enough not to heed the warning? Let's try something. Keep your eyes focused ahead, straight ahead. Promise me you will not turn around under any circumstances. Do you promise? If so, good. If not, well, that's your choice. This is a test of both your honesty and your guts. I'm sure you'd like to turn around about now, but you promised me you wouldn't. A promise is a promise, and you have nerves of steel for following through. I'm acting in your best interest here, trust me, because I promised him that I would keep you looking straight ahead while he got in. And he promised me that as long as you didn't look, he would make it as quick and painless as possible. So seriously, whatever you do, don't look behind you. And that was written by Provider 92.
So you weren't kidding when you said it was short, huh?
It was short. Yeah, it was short. It's actually called micropasta, which is a phrase that I just learned very recently.
Right. Micropastas. Bite-sized horror, if I recall it's called.
Yeah, I feel like if it's tiny pasta, then it's like orecchiette. Is that right?
That's the first time I heard about a caddy.
Like I'm not probably not. It's the tiny type of pasta where it's like tiny little pieces of pasta.
Tiny little pasta.
Okay, so it's tiny pasta. Jinxie, thank you. Jinxie saying good story. Well done. Thank you, Jinxie. I appreciate it. Johnny Stillwater, nice story. Thank you. Cindy Cleveland, nice. Thank you. It's so nice of everyone. Thank you.
Short and a very good reading indeed. Well, if you're gonna do a micropasta, it's only fair if I did one myself.
Yes, please.
Let me first have a look. Here we go. Here's a nice little tiny pasta called We'll Meet Again by Imperial Invective. To tell you the truth, I needed to drink. I would have had a hard day at work, and I would go to the bar and let the alcohol wash away my thoughts. It was cathartic. My daughter, wife and friends would always lay into me when I got home from stinking of alcohol. They would bitch at me, saying that I just wasn't the person they thought I was when I went out drinking, and I could be such a better person. They would always be lying in wait for me when I got home. I would walk through the door and find a group of my family and friends waiting for me. They would always ambush me with prepared letters about how my drinking made them feel, which of course was always bullshit, as they didn't give me an appropriate time to form my own argument to theirs. There wasn't much I could do under their relentless assault. I'd always let them cry and rage against me. Afterwards, I would tell them I would change and find the strength to quit. A few weeks later, I would down a fifth of Jack Daniels and wash away my thoughts, and the process would start again. They would organize another meeting, and I would keep making empty promises because I knew it was better than the alternative. When I was sober, I'd keep imagining them on hooks, pleading and begging for sweet release. I'd imagine their flesh and how it would be so appealing to slice open, tear apart. They want me to quit drinking, but without it, I keep imagining the end. I'd imagine how they would plead and how they would taste. I think this last intervention really stuck. I feel like myself again. That was Intervention by Imperial Invective. Sorry, I scrolled up there at the last minute, but still.
Very nice. Very, I think an intervention was probably necessary there, except that the twist, right, was
Right.
what was being drank. Is that right?
Right, like, something ain't right here.
Like, you poured yourself a drink at the break, which I don't know what you're drinking, but I maybe it's souls, or maybe it's the blood of innocence. I think that's possible.
Or maybe he's just drinking just to keep himself from being violent against his friends and family. Which is an interesting take. Imagine having
Cindy
your...
says, I like tiny pasta.
Johnny Stillwater, that was not a good story. Sorry, Dr. Torment. I believe this is another one of my friends in disguise, because I happen to know they play a lot of Grand Theft Auto, which is set in Stillwater City.
Interesting, Johnny.
Taking sides now, are we?
The tiniest kind of pasta is pastina. They're like tiny little dots. I thought you're half Italian. How am I explaining to you the different types of pasta, doctor?
You started explaining it. I just was about to say, I know what pastina is.
Okay, great. That is what we will now call creepypastina. Y'all heard it here, folks. Y'all heard it here. I am creating this term for micropasta. Is no longer called that. It is now called creepypastina.
Not a friend. Sorry, Dr. Torment. That's alright, Johnny. I consider everyone my friend until they say otherwise.
Yeah, actually, I just heard, I didn't fact check this. I'm just going to put this out here. I heard, though, that Howard Stern was saying that his fans listen to him for an average of 90 minutes, but that his haters listen to him for an average of 2.5 hours on average.
That's just strange, isn't it?
I know, it is strange. So really, your haters are your friends because they're spending more time listening, than your friends are.
Yeah, That's actually a good point. That's a good point you make there, madam. Eluphus Spondulix.
Hellhound. Oh, yeah, you go ahead.
Eluphus Spondulix says creepypastina rolls off the tongue nicer. Actually, yeah.
Doesn't it? Yeah, thank you. And Hellhound, trademark that, madam. I'm on it. I am sending a psychic message to my lawyer as we speak. So that should be done post haste.
Is that a witch lawyer for you too?
All lawyers are witches.
Witches, the demons.
Every lawyer. Well, some of them dabble. But every single one of them has some sort of pact. Yeah, there's a pact involved for sure. Every lawyer.
For sure.
Yeah, no question.
Let me see. Then I was still wondering, like, were those the only Belgian legends you could muster, or do you have some more?
Those were the two big ones that I had. Okay, we're gonna back up. We're gonna rewind a little to
because
the
I'm just curious about your homework now.
Okay, well, here I'm gonna share some more. So, attached to the Buck Riders, I'm calling them Goat Riders now because that's more appropriate.
It's the same thing.
So the Goat Riders, yeah. I found that there was a woman that led one group of men. I don't know if it's actually a group of men. One group of criminals. Let's just take men out of that equation. So there was a woman. Otherwise, like I was telling you, it's mostly men that were these Goat Riders. I read that there was one woman, and her name is Zwarte Kat. Did I get that anywhere close? Can you understand what I said?
I think you're trying to say black cat.
Yes, I did. It doesn't say that I had to translate this page to read it. And so I was like, why does it keep saying Black Cat everywhere? That's not her name. And then, oh my God, her name is Black Cat. I love this story already. Like, now I'm fully engaged. So this woman, whose name translates to Black Cat, led this group of criminals. And then let's also put a pin in this for a moment. For anyone that wasn't here last week when I was on the live stream with the doctor, I decided that part of his lore, and this is, I don't need to know what your actual lore is, Doctor. What I'm saying is that your name is now Dr. Tormus, close to Thomas, but with an R, Dr. Torment, right? So imagine my surprise when I am reading this story and this woman, Black Cat, kidnapped a newborn baby from the 10 Vorsel farm. And do you know what she named that baby boy?
Don't tell me, Thomas.
Thomas! She named the boy Thomas. So I think I accidentally stumbled upon more of your lore. I think you were kidnapped as a baby, and you were kidnapped by a woman named Black Cat. And maybe you don't remember it because you were a baby, but I just thought maybe you want to know that.
Well, that's just something I didn't want to get out in public.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have thought of that before I blasted it to the stream.
Sheesh.
Okay, apparently though, where she's buried, someone considers her a witch in the story, and I actually couldn't find her being witchy, but they called her a witch, and they said where she's buried under is a tree that grows there, and it's grown like gnarly and really strange and creepy looking, and I cannot find where the name of the tree is. Do you know what tree I'm talking about?
I wanna.
Hexenboom. Is that
that's basically the Dutch word for witch tree.
Okay, well, it's called the witch tree, and it is a place that exists. And can I share it in the chat? Can people click a link if I put a link in there?
Only a moderator can do that. And that said, Jinxie has just been promoted as a moderator in the chat. So if you can just send me the link, I'll just send it forward to her.
Oh, amazing.
Awesome. 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 Awesome
Perfect. I'm sending it over. Congrats, Jinxie. Congratulations. So
Because
proud of you.
it was needed at some point.
Yeah, as in today. I don't know, maybe is it a full moon? No, we just had the buck moon. Doctor. The
Yes.
full moon that we just had was the buck moon. It was literally called the buck moon, and now I'm talking about the buck riders. I didn't even put that together.
To be fair, neither did I, but also I'm not really following the moon cycles and what it has to do with Belgian folklore. Like, Belgian folklore is something I haven't really
Well-
discussed in about 10 years, just so you know.
Well, I'm finding it fascinating, and I do follow the moon cycles, being a witch. So then, actually, the next one for August is the green corn moon, which that's something.
Jinxie, I just sent you the link for the witch tree in the chat, in the Discord, but I'm not entirely sure people can read it because I think it's in Dutch. Yes, it's in Dutch.
It is in Dutch, but you can tell it to translate,
Right.
or you can just appreciate the image of the tree. Elusive Spondulix. Yes, please share the link so I can stay the heck away. Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is why I want everyone to see the tree, so that don't go near the witch tree. Don't go see DrTorment's mom buried under the witch tree.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Jinxie.
Excuse me.
Well, I mean, you can go. All right, let me back up. If
I
you
can
want
go.
to go and pay, yes, DrTorment can go. Everyone else can go if you pay your respects as Mrs. Dr. Torment, as Mama Torment. If you want to go pay your respects to her as Mama Torment, then yes, you may go. Bring flowers, maybe some wine. I don't know what's like Belgian ale made by monks. She would probably like that.
Brown table beer, please.
Yeah, that. Bring that.
Bring a good
Exactly.
few
So
bottles of Pied
that's-
Boeuf.
And then, yeah, share it with Dr. Torment. But that is all of the homework that I did so far. Except I have one more note. On this chart that I have of the death toll of Europe's witch trials, which is,
Oh my.
I think Americans hear witch trials and they think Salem. No, the European witch trials lasted from like the 15th century to the 18th century, and a lot of people, like 500,000 people, I think I remember reading.
Around that number, yes.
A lot of people died. So just in case anyone just associates it with Salem. So no, this is the European witch trials, and it sorts it in terms of how many people were actually tried and executed versus just tried in each country. And I think you'll be happy to know Belgium is in the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Belgium only tried and executed 378 people. So
To be fair,
good job, Belgium.
Well, to be fair, in defense of Belgium here, but Belgium didn't exist back then.
You're right, and so neither
So,
did Germany, and Germany's
think-
at the very top of Germany's
about
number
to say,
one.
yeah.
Germany, yeah, Germany.
Germany-
16,000 people.
I mean, there's jokes I can make about Germany and how they are so good at this stuff, but let's not. let's
I know,
not.
it's just it's too low hanging fruit. Like it's just
Yeah,
unnecessary. We
it's
don't even
too-
need to.
We have class in
Um,
this stream.
But so exactly, we're classy, and Germany didn't exist yet either. So that was actually my question to myself as I was looking at this earlier. I said, how did they define these? Because some of these countries did not.
I think they mean
Actually, most of these countries.
I think they mean the region that Belgium consists of today, which back then would be the
Yes.
county of Flanders. And a part of France.
Back to Flanders. So y'all were in the bottom 5, which pretty good. You've got nothing on Germany. I
Hey.
will say Spain tried. They actually tried 1,948 people All right. They executed one person. So,
Spain.
you know, Spain.
Spain executed one person.
Pretty good. Just one.
In the Middle
just
Ages,
tried a lot
during
of
the witch
people.
trials.
Yes. One
I want to
person.
see. I need to see this chart of yours because that's not the image I had.
Let me-
Really?
I know. It's fascinating. And I plugged this podcast last week. I'm going to plug it again. Witches by BBC Sounds or BBC4.
I mean,
I
all
think it's
these.
4.
I mean, all these means about the Spanish Inquisition, and they did jack all.
I know. It's really weird. Oh, hold on. Let me get this in my copy pasta. Here we go.
Copy pasta, even. Ooh.
Ooh, the scariest.
So many pastas to be
something
shared
serious.
today.
Yeah, so Spain, only one. You know, it could be it could be worse.
I mean, you could say that. I mean, so many Inquisition jokes I could have made. Oh, it has no merit.
I know. Here, you know, you just, it's fine. You know, if I'm on again, I'm sure I will somehow bring up the witch trials again. In which case, you could have everything ready. Okay, here you go. I don't know why that was so difficult. The Netherlands was at the bottom of the list, if anyone was curious. Italy, also barely anybody. So I know you should be proud of Italy. They only killed 60 people. Pretty good.
I mean, again, I'm surprised. Like the capital of where it all started, and still, okay. Well, Germany. I don't know what you've done wrong.
Yeah.
But,
Well, okay, and the problem with Germany, oh my God, I'm not even going to go down this rabbit hole, but I do recommend that anyone listening is like, what is she talking about? Please do a deep dive on this or check out that Witches podcast series. But Germany they birthed the Malleus Maleficarum, the Witch's Hammer book, that the Witchfinder General. Yeah. And I mean, he was German. And so I think there was something also they said a witch killed the German, I don't know, maybe this queen that was in the area of Germany, even though Germany didn't exist. Anyway, Germany took it very seriously, and that's where the Malleus Maleficarum came from. So I think that probably has something to do with why Germany took it so seriously.
I mean, if you go ahead and write a book about how to execute certain people and even how to test if they're witches, which would result in deaths, like, okay. There's something wrong with you.
And that's, you know, the book, it gets, it's really, that book was really more about hating women, is really what that book was about, which you can learn all about from that podcast. Jinxie says, I'm of German/Romanian descent.
This does not surprise me. This does not surprise me.
And then Johnny Stillwater, I'm from Germany/Poland. Interesting. Where's Poland on this list? They're not on the list.
I refuse to believe that Poland did not execute people during the witch trials.
I know. I'm trying to look. It doesn't look like. I think they stop before Eastern.
To be fair, To be fair, I think Poland or the Czech Republic, which would have another name back then, the Kingdom of Czechia, I don't know. But I do believe they had some very creative torture methods, though. Like some of the iconic ones actually originate from there, like the Iron Maiden, I think. Don't quote me on this. But I think the Iron Maiden came from about those areas.
I believe that. Believe that. Oh,
Johnny Stillwater.
This is not. Oh, what is
Johnny?
this?
Czech Hunter. Look it up. Actually, yeah, I'm curious. I'm gonna look up Czech Hunter. What is this?
What? Yeah, look that up. Look that up, and then I want to tell you that there's also this theory about the European witch trials and how
TV series?
it was tied specifically to let's see, the surge in witch trials in Europe coincided with some of the most bitter phases of the Little Ice Age, which is this period of widespread cooling in globally in temperatures that was like from 1300 to like the 1800s. So it's like you've got colder weather, you've got harsher weather, so crops aren't growing, crops are failing, you've got poor harvests, and then in the 1300s, of course, you've got the Black Death, and
yes.
you know, you've got the Great Famine. And so they're like, why is all this stuff happening to us at once? We need to find an explanation.
I believe
so they look to witches.
I believe in part, but not entirely, of course, but in part it's because Pope Gregory started saying like, oh, black cats are now banned, and then there was a massive hunt on cats in Europe, which resulted in more rats
Gregory.
It resulted in more rats to procreate and then carry off the plague.
Boo. Pope Gregory, boo.
Boo, Pope Gregory. We don't like Pope Gregory on this channel.
We don't like him.
But
okay, Pope Gregory the 9th?
I think it was him, yeah.
Yeah, it's him. You're right. That was good. Good job.
And
on your history lesson.
Thank you, thank you. But speaking of history lessons, it is time for our first break with Madame Strange. Because we do need a little bit of a stretch.
Wait.
At least I need a bit of a stretch.
I'm ready to, reset my tarot deck and pour some more tea and just get the vibe going.
Get the vibe going, there we go. So folks, we will be back in, shall we say 5 minutes?
Perfect.
We will be back in 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, stay tuned and we will be returning to you very soon. And we are back from our break, ladies and gentlemen, with a bit of an announcement that Madame Strangeway does have to leave us in a few for dinner reasons as well. But she does indulge us with a final story to tell us. Madam, what can you tell us about the story?
I do have one more story. Thank you. Well, first of all, Jinxie asked, "Ooh, what kind of tea?" It's a hibiscus tea, and if you want to check out my most recent episode, I will tell you what kind of honey is used in this tea.
Ooh.
So check me out for everybody. This is just a I'm gonna put a plug in here. Madame Strangeways. You can find me on YouTube, obviously, also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. You can also submit your own true scary ghost stories. Anything, doesn't even have to be ghosts. Anything scary, anything paranormal, or anything unexplained. It could be cryptids. So if you've run into the Belgian cryptid that is a flying werewolf, I want to hear about it. You can send that in on madamestrangeways.com, or you can email me at madamestrangeways@gmail.com. So yeah, please follow me. Yay, thank you.
I'll definitely send it in if I find it myself, because I really want to know what it is now.
Yeah, let me know. And then Johnny Stillwater, thank you. I'm going to subscribe to you. Thank you, Johnny. And Jinxie, I will defs follow you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so this final story that I will be sharing with everyone, the title, this is also a creepypastina as well. So this is also another short one, a tiny pasta. This one is called The Shadow in the Corner of Your Room.
Oh.
And you just let me know when you're ready for me to read it.
By all means, the stage is all yours. I'll just go ahead and mute myself.
Thank you. The shadow in the corner of your room. At night, at least one room in your house or apartment is dark. You turned the lights off. It's late, and electricity costs too much these days. But being near the dark room makes you feel uneasy. You feel unsafe, like you need to get away from it quickly. And you have a right to feel that way. Darkness is a breeding ground for real-life nightmares, invisible to the naked eye until it is too late. Anything bad, evil, or terrifying you have ever thought of will mold itself out of the black stillness silently. Every tap, every squeak, creak, whistle, and rattle is caused by them. It's a running tap. It's an old pipe. The house is old. Of course, the floorboards make noises every once in a while. The human brain likes to make up excuses, to hide the fact that you're afraid, to try to calm you down so that you can survive. Now, you're probably thinking that daybreak gives you safety and that the sunshine blankets you in warm protection. And to an extent, you're correct. But there is a little bit of darkness inside every one of us, and darkness attracts more. It follows you around every waking moment. Every time you think you're safe, it's right in front of your eyes or hiding just behind you. That darkness is your shadow. And that story was by Unlisted. So thank you, Unlisted, for your talented writing.
That is indeed short and existential dreadful, I would even say.
Yeah, shadows being darkness and darkness attracting more darkness. Yeah, No thanks. I'm good. I'm good. Do we need a shadow? Is that necessary? Peter Pan got rid of his shadow. So how can we do that? How do we arrange that?
Start to think maybe there's a reason why he got rid of it.
He knows something we don't know. I mean, he wanted his back. So maybe maybe he wasn't ahead of us. Maybe he wasn't all that on top of it because he was trying to get it back.
Nick says he feels scared of his shadow now. Well done.
Yeah, or Nick, you already felt scared of your shadow, and now maybe you're more scared. Just so long, you know what? Here's a PSA. So long as your shadow doesn't do things that you're not also doing, you're probably fine.
Probably.
Yeah, so long as it's behaving. Yeah, probably. But maybe not.
Nick, of course, Nick. Little in-joke he says there at the end. You can ignore that.
Jinxie, but will you ever know? Well, you might find out when the most terrifying, bad, and evil things you've ever thought of mold themselves out of the black stillness of your shadow.
Oh.
Then I think you will know. But then you won't be able to tell us. That's probably how that happens. Cindy Cleveland's kitties just came out of hibernation.
That's nice.
Welcome out of hibernation, kitties. However, Dr. Torment, where are your kitties? Why are they not being chaotic?
They've jumped on the desk a few times, but they're being surprisingly quiet today. I have no idea why.
Yeah, I thought, I called them. I called your cats before the live stream, and I said, I'm going to be on the live stream. I want to make sure that you guys scream as much as possible because I find it delightful.
To be fair, they seem to be more active on the later live streams when I do them around 1 a.m. my time.
Well, that makes sense. That's their time for screaming. That's their screaming hour.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, 1 a.m. is also my screaming hour, so I can understand. You just run around the house screaming. If y'all haven't tried it, give it a go. It's really therapeutic.
Now, before you go, though, madam, I do want to read a story of my own.
Ooh, yes.
Not something I've written. Not something I've written myself, by the way, but something I had stored away.
Yes, please. I can't wait. I'm ready. I'm at the edge of my seat.
So this one's called The Wormwood's Kin by William C. Did you know there are some animals in the world that cannot die from biological causes? They just don't. Some trees live up to thousands of years. Starfish regenerate new limbs if not entire bodies. There's even a type of jellyfish that can just start its life over from the infancy period if some conditions are met. Alas, the fantastical, immortal designation for these creatures are often justified by simplified descriptions of evolutionary processes. It's almost deceptive, isn't it? And then there is the worm. Yes, capitalized. No, not an earthworm, although perhaps it looks like one. I don't think there's any other animal like it in the world, and do you know why? It is truly and utterly immortal. I don't mean it just lives naturally unless run over by a car. It can't divide into more of itself. It simply never begins to die, right from the start. You've seen it before, on the sidewalk after a hard rain, or underneath the soil of your mother's garden where she told you not to play in. The worm is there, wriggling and squirming, looking up with a blind eye to an indifferent sun. Its skin isn't the usual healthy brownish color, it is a sickly pale green. You probably don't notice it, because you just like to watch the bugger crawl around unaware, and perhaps given an untimely demise with the tip of the shoe, black innards squirting out with a stomp or a slice. You leave it there and go home. The rain washes its carcass away, but you didn't actually see that. Oh no. It was fine the whole time. You just assumed the element spirited away the remains. The worm saw what you did, and it was indifferent, comfortable even. Do you know why? Because it comes from a place where this is normal. Death is a myth it doesn't believe in. How it ended up here with us I do not know, but I do know that if you go looking for the worm, you will find it. It might be in the soil of your grandmother's pot, the crack of a concrete slab, or buried deep in the mud of a shore, or even on the dank ground of the basement you refuse to stay in for long. If you look for it, it'll be there. The worm holds a secret many are willing to ask of, but are afraid to receive. Although you'll never be able to know for certain whether the insight it shares is a preview of things to come. Go to the dankest spot of the loneliest place you can find. The worm will be there, rearing its head and willing to be held within your dirty palms. Touch it, place it in your hand, and ask, "From what soil do you hail?" You will be shown a vision of the worm's home, a place where there is no ground. There is no rock nor branch to hold steady within the ever-blowing ill tempest. There is there is an endless pit rending upward into an obsidian ceiling, eons from the warm embrace of a father. There is a cacophony of the miserable and wicked who were far too late to detach from evil, and were met with gnashing claws, jaws, and derisive howls. And contrary to belief, it is not sweltering and filled with rotten-smelling brimstone, but rancorous and freezing and purulent as the sin which would grant you access here in the first place. This is the home of the bitter worms, where human folly is punished tenfold for eternity. This one is your worm, and it dieth not, but it does feed. And that was The Wormwood Skin by William C. in the Creepypasta Wiki.
But it does eat. Oh, what does it eat? That's so scary.
Your sins.
Now, did they spell it capital WORM? Or is there a Y in there somewhere?
You mean worm? Oh no, it's like capital WORM.
Okay.
And not with the Y in it.
So this...
Literally a worm, like described.
Worm. It lives, because it was saying it lives where there's no earth, there's no rocks, trees. So it lives in the spectral moat that's around the asylum.
It lives in the spectral moat for those who do not find their ways to their rooms.
It's your guard worm.
You could say
it's the
that.
asylum's guard worm. Yeah. So everybody get to your rooms on time. I know it's Taco Tuesday at the asylum, but you got to get to your rooms on time.
Or just don't try to escape. There's no point.
Yeah, or the worm. The worm will get you. That was definitely creepy. And as always, an excellent reading. Thank you, Doctor, for that reading.
I do have a thing for classical readings, but also the existential dread kind of readings, because this is inescapable. The worm is always attached to you, no matter where you go. And when you die, that's the end. It still feeds and will bring you to its home.
It's funny because it's kind of like a shadow. Like your shadow is always with you, and the worm is always with you.
There you go. This is why I found this a very fitting story. Like when you said it about the shadow, it instantly went to my mind, right? Wait, I know a story that is kind of the same. Hold on.
That was really fitting. Yeah, that was a really good fit.
That it was. But, madam, with that said, we did come to the end of the stream for you because you have dinner to prepare, correct?
Yes, I do. I have spectral, spiritual, Ouija dinner. Got to make that. It's important. Yeah.
Excellent. Then, do you have anything more to say for our viewers and in the chat?
Sure. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thanks for listening. It's great to see some of y'all again. Appreciate everybody that has followed me and that is going to follow me, which should be everybody that is listening now. So thank you. Check me out, YouTube. You can do Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you listen. And of course, like I said, you can submit any stories, any true, unexplained, true, strange stories. You can submit those to me at madamestrangeways.com. And I hope to see all of y'all again on the stream someday if the good doctor will have me again.
By all means, I'm already preparing my August schedule, but you should see that on the Discords appearing soon, and you can slot yourself in.
Excellent. Well, I will take a peek at your schedule. And Darkhold, thank you. Cindy, thank you. Jinxie. Everybody have a wonderful night. And remember that you can feel afraid and not be in danger. Thank you so much, Doctor, for having me tonight.
It was a pleasure, madam. Then with that said...
Enjoy, everyone.
Then with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is about time that we do end the stream here. To anyone that would like to submit a story or has a suggestion to me, by all means, you can contact me on the Linktree in the description and either post it on DrTorment Narrations on Reddit or send it to my Gmail, which is drtormentnarrations@gmail.com. Then with all that said, I hope you had a lovely time here. Please join me on Monday where I will be joined with Cryptic Tales for another live stream. And remember, don't fall asleep ever.